What's up, Love Squad? It's your girl, Kimmy B, Miss GlamPowered. Um, I had a great idea I'm experimenting with. I watch reaction videos. I'm sure you guys have seen them too on YouTube where people react to other people's videos, maybe give their opinions. It might be a popular video or a trending video, maybe a music video or something like that, right? So I was like, how come I've never seen one about like personal growth or spiritual topics like pick a card readings? And I was like, oh my God, I should do this. So I'm going to be doing a new series, which is going to be called Infinite Reactions. I'll be reacting to different readings that I find across YouTube and online. And I know that I want to do other personal growth and development reactions in the future as well on other topics. So I'm still experimenting and learning and figuring out what's working for me on this channel. I hope that this is helpful to you because you'll get to see my process. I don't just watch pick a card readings, I make them myself also. I've been using the tarot since 2008 personally and helping people with them as well. But it's a process. I find that when I first started using the cards, it was just like, oh, okay, that's great. But I didn't really take action. So I do hope that you can get some insight into how I use pick a card readings to really affect or change my life. And all of the people that I feature, the creators that I feature in this video, I will link the videos below, okay? So the question of the day is, how right was Star Girl, the Practical Witch? She is the headliner for this video, but there are two other pick a card readers that you may or may not know that I'll be featuring in this video, okay? So let's get started. So the main question for this theme was, how will I be successful? I've been working on this for a long time now. Oh my gosh, and have made a lot of progress, but there's still work to be done. And I'm still moving towards what I consider to be success. So yeah, we all want to know this, right? How will I be successful? That's the theme. And who was the most accurate? So for the reading today or the reaction, I chose Star Girl, the Practical Witch, Miss Rainbow Harmony, and the Lovely Stranger Tarot. Okay, so like I said, you may or may not know these creators or pick a card readers, but hopefully you'll like them. I think all of their readings are great and I want to support them. So who was the most accurate? Let's see. First, we're going to start with the Queen, Star Girl, the Practical Witch. So this is what she said, y'all. First of all, she talked about energy vampires. And yeah, I definitely have been dealing with energy vampires. I've had a problem. We're going to call it the RNS, as in Rotten Neighbor Syndrome. Since about 2014, I've been dealing with that. It wasn't a thing throughout my life, but it's been a definite pattern since then. This year, I started breaking curses and releasing entities and attachments. There's been like so much energy work that I've been doing. So it has died down significantly. I'm almost done with that. But yeah, she was spot on when she talked about that. I don't let them vampire me anymore, if you will, because I have learned how to protect myself and protect my energy. However, it's still something that was very, very strong at first, but now it's weakening. And I've had other, like, as I continue to do my energy work, like sometimes I can hear the unseen. So I have clairaudience. And clairaudience is hearing the unseen, right? Sometimes if I do a salt scrub or some sort of energy release, I'll hear them, like they'll leave. I know it sounds crazy, but I'll hear like a resistant kind of like scream, like, don't do it. Like I've literally heard, don't do it. And it's like, bye. Yes, I'm doing this. You're going to leave me alone because you're blocking my manifesting abilities. So that's happened. Heart chakra, she mentioned that for the pal that I chose for her reading that, you know, you're someone with a big heart chakra. Not really. Not to sound cold or anything like that. I am an Aquarius. So I'm an Aquarius sun and a Virgo moon, air signs. And we're not necessarily known for being warm and fuzzy. I don't, I definitely opened up my heart. Last year in particular, I opened up my heart chakra, which was really healing for me. But I have since healed it, and I don't want to say retracted, but I have it open only so much. And that's my style, if you will, vibrationally. I don't believe in letting everyone and everything in. That logic and kind of, what's the word? I hate to sound like a robot, but kind of like robotic kind of logic kind of thinking does take over and is prevalent in how I am and in my way of being. So that doesn't allow for that. I don't allow for much foolishness, seen or unseen. I'm going to put it like that. So I disagree with that assessment. She talked about being intuitive. Duh. I've been doing readings myself since '08. And also, I've grown more and more intuitive as I continue to do clearings for myself, energy clearings for myself. And now angels come and talk to me in my dreams. Like, yeah, that's been really interesting. And I told you guys about the entities and attachments and how I've been releasing them. And now, like, I can sense it. Like, if something's on my energy body or in my energy body that has no business being there, I now can sense it and am very, very vigilant about protecting my energy body. So I've been really grateful for that shift. It's been a gradual thing. I was not always like this, but it's happened over time. Then she said, when you become successful, you'll have learned how to block out whatever. Yeah, that's happening now. And I'm so excited because now we're in this, in astrology, Saturn has gone direct. So, oh my God, I really resonate with that because now I'm going to have a deeper level of success. I did so much clearing when it was in retrograde, and that stuff stayed back to the point where I was released from a circumstance that was going to keep me in patterns. Like I didn't release myself. I cleared so much that I was released from it. It was really, really interesting the way it happened. I won't get into that, or otherwise this video is going to be even longer, but I am so happy. Like next year, like I'm getting a little emotional. I've been working on my root chakra a lot. This is going to be my first year where I'm actually going to have a certain level of success that I've been trying to get, but it's been elusive because I had so many blockages and just, kept trying to learn, but kept repeating things because of the blockages. So oh my God, I'm in the middle of that right now. So excited. Like in 6 months, my life is about to be even more amazing. So excited. She also said if you're doing a job that drains you, it's no bueno. Or she didn't say no bueno. I said no bueno. No good, you guys. I do agree with that. And I think for me, I have a job and work that I love. I'm an English teacher by trade. I teach internationally. I'll be getting into that on this channel too, because I know a lot of people are interested in that. But anyways, yeah, so true. But I've had to really work on how I'm doing it, how I'm teaching for myself. I teach from home. I am getting ready to go and teach at a traditional like language center as well. But I'm still refining that so that it is less draining. But I also will say that I have learned how to energize my body and sustain myself more and still work and do what I need to do a lot better. And that has made it easier and less draining in that regard. Also practicing gratitude for my students has also helped me because there was a year or so where things were kind of touchy, kind of shaky, touch and go with me in terms of teaching. Like I knew that it was for me, but it just didn't feel quite right. Something wasn't quite right about it. And I found myself being physically drained and exhausted. And I was like, something is wrong. So I've really worked on my energy in terms of that. And I would say that to you too. If you find yourself in a situation where you know you're on a path, maybe you have more than one like I do, you know you're on a path and you love it, but maybe something's not quite right with the energetics. Focus on gratitude, number one, for knowing that you know for sure that this is right, but then B, focus on whatever it is. For me, it was a physical thing, just figuring out which foods to eat, improving my sleep quality. I practice sleep meditation, time management, energy management, all of that, so that I can ultimately make more money and fuel my goals, okay? Fuel my intentions. So think about it like that. It may not be that you have to quit 100% because I'm not quitting, but I have adapted how I work and I'm continuing to do that into the next year so that not only will I be working in an even better way, but also making more money, okay? All right. So how do I energize when I don't have optimal energy? I just told you guys about sleep meditation. That's one thing that really, really changed my life this past year. And I totally recommend, listening to sleep meditation music. I always say this in my videos, Meditative Mind is my favorite meditation music channel. I also have some meditation music on my channel if you're interested. Definitely check it out. The realization that I had for her reading or after her reading was look for ways to protect my energy more while working. So I started, I became a Reiki practitioner this year. So I started Reikiing my sessions, like at the beginning of the day, before I start my classes, I'll just do a Reiki for gratitude. I also, straight up use your energy, like pragmatic stuff. I have to use pragmatic stuff. I love good quality coffee. So I make sure that I have my coffee in the morning and I don't get as tired and as drained as I used to. And I'm also noticing that I'm more joyful in my classes. I'm happier. And because like with the online teaching, I get ratings from the students. I notice that overall, my ratings have gone up. My students are more grateful and appreciative too, because I'm coming to them with a happier, more open disposition. My heart chakra is definitely open when I'm teaching. That I can say for sure. And I open it for my students because I love them so much. So they're getting that energy from me, which is making me a better teacher. I have plans for the future in terms of what I'm doing with my teaching career that I'm super excited about that I didn't really have a plan for before. So it's been really great in that way. What else? Final thoughts. I like the efficiency of the reading, and she was spot on for the most part. The only thing for me was maybe that heart chakra, but now that I'm talking to you about it in relation to my students, I do see it for them. Maybe not for everyone else, but definitely for my students. So I'm going to link her reading below. Let's continue on to my Rainbow Harmony reaction. So she said that leadership is important to me. Or no, she talked about being a boss, I should say. I corrected. I said, no, leadership is important to me. Being a boss isn't, in all caps. Group work, nah, that's a hell nah. I like to work by myself. I told you guys I have done a massive amount of energy healing and clearing. Part of what I was attracting before was just rotten people. I already told you about the neighbors, but my last traditional job that I had long term, I was a nursing assistant in New York City. And I worked really hard to get that position. I started out as a home health aide and had worked my way up. I was planning on going to nursing school, but the energy was never right, even though the money had improved and I had really accomplished something that was hard for me to do. Definitely in the math and sciences outside of my field of English. I studied English in college. That's what my degree is in. So I stepped outside of my comfort zone and I did something very different for myself. But people were literally trying to get me fired, or I was doing my best and really connecting with the clients, kind of like I do with my students, connecting with the patients and the clients. But then like everyone else around me was just not that great. And I was just like, oh my gosh, this is horrible. What a horrible pattern to be creating. And I didn't know at the time, like what it was. Now that I've cleared all that stuff and released it, I know that those were just energy blockages and entities. Like I was literally setting people off straight up with my vibration. I wasn't doing anything on purpose, but it was a mess. So I don't like working with groups. It's not my favorite thing. I'll do it if I have to. And if I do, I will script the heck out of that situation before I do it and cleanse and protect beforehand. And the stronger that I get energetically, the more comfortable I am being around groups and in groups. But for now, at least at this point in my journey, it's still not my favorite thing. And it never will be, to be honest with you. Like I still prefer to work alone or just one-on-one with clients and students, like directly. But yeah, leadership is important to me, but group work and being a boss, supervising other people, absolutely not. I have zero interest in that. Being a project manager, yes, of my own projects. A producer, yes, just like this Infinite Reactions. This is an example of something. I love to create things and I'm still figuring out what's working for me in terms of traction and creating an audience around it. But I definitely know how to have an idea and create it just like this. Yes. Working in publishing, maybe editing. That's really interesting to me that she brought that up because I am actually going to be enrolling in a court report editing program. That's another offshoot of my English skills that I'm refining and would love to use, as another income channel. So, she talked about being connoisseurs of information. I am an info junkie. Look at the tabs, if you can see them at the top of my screen here. Oh my gosh. And you guys, this is just a little bit for me. I've gotten better. I'm a tabaholic. I'm always tabbing and saving stuff. Absolutely. Definitely a connoisseur of information. So, I put here, start with whatever is the most fun. I think, when I wrote that, it was about just going down a rabbit hole of finding what's interesting to you and using that to energize you. I love learning, love learning. So it is a kind of energy work for me because it just opens me up and it makes me go, and then I can share it with other people, which is what I do on the other end of that. So the realization, there's a flow to how I've gotten work opportunities, definitely. So I focus on that instead of attracting a specific job. So I'm starting to focus on like the energy around it, because when it happens, it just happens. There is no pause or hesitation. When the job or opportunity is mine, it's mine. I don't even have to do much to get it. It's just like, here you go. So I'm focusing on reflecting on those times to bring in more opportunities for me, but more aligned opportunities because I'm more aligned. And applying and following up, doing a more optimized time. So right now, the planetary alignment is really good for me. And for a lot of us right now, because Saturn is direct. So I have some specific goals, which I'll get into in terms of what I want to do over the next month. Before I think something is going in the retrograde. Oh my God, Mercury, the next Mercury retrograde, I think, because I'm also sensitive to the planetary shifts. So I've started to pay more attention to them this year because I can feel it, but I'm not as well versed in astrology yet. So sometimes like I'll feel it, but I'll have to like look and see what it is, air quotes, and what it means, what the significance of it is. So I'm starting to get more into that and make sure that I try to plan things around that based on that so that I'm always benefiting instead of it being like a detrimental thing like it has been in the past, right? And one of the companies that I'm in the process of reapplying to is an old company. It was my first online company. They were great, but there were also some like negative like patterning things happening around me. I'm gonna try again with them, but I'm starting out better than I did in the past. So I'm looking forward to that going well, and we'll see what happens. So that is Miss Rainbow Harmony. And like I said, I will link her reading below. Next, we are going to be doing, oh, wait. I think I might have this twice, you guys. Yeah. Let me skip this. Something is up. Oh, me and my, my swiftness. We're just going to go to the Lovely Stranger. There we go. So next we're going to do the Lovely Stranger Tarot. Okay, correction. I actually did have a second page for Rainbow Harmony. So let's continue with her first, and then we will proceed to the Lovely Stranger. So some other realizations that I had for her was, and I started this, don't go against the flow, accept it and adapt to it. So for example, with this YouTube channel, at one point during the year, I was doing 2 videos a week. I was so happy because for me, in terms of YouTube this year, it has been about, okay, just developing consistency. But things started to trickle to a halt. Like literally, like I stopped getting views and I just wasn't able to get the videos out like that. So I just was like, okay, just do your best, but be consistent. I also cleared some other like different things that I was doing, some other types of meditation. Like I've been doing the 5x55, which I love, but I want to use more of that time to focus on my YouTube channel. So, I'm doing that for now and just building this up and focusing on this, and structuring how I'm using my time a bit to make that happen. And still the pacing may not be twice a week, with the uploads, but that's okay. I'm consistent. My main thing is to just continue to be consistent and let the energy around this get stronger and the momentum build. Okay. So before, the old me would have been like, oh, this is getting on my nerves. Now it's just like, okay, if it's the pacing is slower, then it's slower. I'm just rolling with it. So go with the flow of chosen path and align that way. This is like taking the path of least resistance. Becoming an English teacher was never my intention, but it's what's worked for me. And I find value in that and just knowing that and using that to my benefit. I'm not saying that I'm not going to pursue things that I want to that don't seem like they're aligned. Like, for example, YouTube is a hobby for me. I want it to be more than that in the future, but right now the energy is not really that great around it, to be honest with you. But just like with this video and my other videos, I'm going to keep going until I figure out what's going on with that. But I know that regardless of that, I have to have these habits in place before I can even have 100,000 subscribers, which is my goal, right? So just saying, if things don't look the way you intend, that doesn't mean stop. You keep going. All right. Patience. There is something to be healed within this process I never identified before. I just alluded to that. Maybe the same with this channel and its growth. I just said that. Using full-time job as an anchor, and I mean vibrationally, being really grateful to be a teacher and have income coming in, and I'm finally stabilizing through teaching. I thought I would stabilize through YouTube or like my other projects. No, I had to realize for myself, no, you have teaching. That's going to be your anchor. And then you'll have the time and the energy, the strength to do the other things too, but maybe a little slower, but still do them. And that comes with me doing the root chakra work this past month or two too. I'm developing more wisdom around how to be stable, like naturally within what I'm doing, so that I can do other things as well. So it says using full-time job as anchor, not just income channel. More release to come. So I have more to release. I haven't quite gotten to whatever it is yet, because if I did, we wouldn't be having this conversation. But at least I know now that when I come across whatever it is, when I realize it, I'll be able to just release it and things will flow a lot better. My final thoughts. Here we go. The last thought for Rainbow Harmony. So in her video, there were 7 options. Yikes, that was a lot. That was low-key, high-key, low-key, high-key overwhelming. I was like, dang, girl. But what I did was I used my Reiki. I closed my eyes and just Reiki the screen and then use the Reiki to select. So if you're having some trouble, like close your eyes and just ask your guides to just direct your finger toward the best one or the most aligned one. Try that. If you do this, try it. If you use her reading, okay, if you use this reading, because that was a bit overwhelming. I was like, dang. I liked the music that she had in the intro. She used some meditation music. I might have to copy that or steal that. All right. That was definitely good. And then the other thing was, look, Virgo tendencies. Okay. I closed my eyes and let the Reiki select for me. Okay. I like that she pulled in her personal experience as well to explain the insight. And once again, she was short, sweet, and concise. I love pick a card readings, but y'all know that they can be an investment in y'all's time. Like it's taken me a week to do this. I would think actually I might have started this video last week, looking at the videos, taking my notes, and then just figuring out what I was going to do, selecting the 3. It takes some time. And I know it takes time to make them because I make them too. So, I'm like, thank you for not having to be 50 hours. No shade if your readings are 50 hours, because I think those are very valuable. But sometimes, short and sweet and concise is nice. All right. So that is it for real for Miss Rainbow Harmony. Now, let's move on to the lovely stranger tarot. So, so for one of the cards I got was the Queen of Pentacles, and it was reversed. And this reminded me of this blockage that I was speaking about earlier with like YouTube and other things that I've tried, and to a degree with teaching too. I have really been working on this. The next thing, and I am so excited, it better be here tomorrow, that I'm going to be using is black salt. I have become a huge Huge fan of salt scrubs. I salt scrub once or twice a week now, and I've used different salts. Lately, I've been using pink Himalayan and olive oil, both of which have a significance. I've been making my own salt scrub with just those 2 ingredients and raking and just clearing the crap out of stuff. And it has helped dial back the negativity, and whatever I was attracting, it has dialed it back significantly. And I am starting to see myself stabilize. The black salt is like the end all be all. I believe in divine darkness, which is basically like when you close your eyes, most of us at least, we see darkness. When you look up into the sky at night, what is it? It's dark. That energy that was here first before everything else. Okay, I call it divine darkness. Other people call it dark matter. Whatever you call it, I'm using black salt to connect to that energy, because even doing candle prayers with that energy this year has helped to just significantly reduce the foolishness and clear out stuff. So now I'm doing the salt with that energy, okay? Black salt. I will do a video about how I'm incorporating black salt into my energy practice sometime in the near future, possibly even next week, depending on my week. All right, so the next thing, someone who doesn't want to be dominated by society or normal standards. I'm an Aquarius, so that's true, but not necessarily actively true. It says going your own unique way path. And I would say not necessarily actively true, because I never consciously said I wanted to teach internationally and travel for a living. That was never my thing. I never said I wanted to teach online. But what happened was, like, life circumstances kept unfolding like that and continue to unfold for me like that, to the point now where I know to just consciously go after those opportunities because clearly they're aligned for me. But I never set out to be that. I thought I was going to be a lawyer, and I still am considering law school, like seriously. But I know that even if I decide to practice law in the future, it's not going to be traditional, because nothing that I've done has manifested that way. So it's just been really interesting to watch destiny kind of choose for me in that regard. Then the other thing, it says you decide to be a hermit who lives in the woods. That's funny, because I am a hermit, and it brings me a lot of joy. Oh my God. I get energized from being able to do me by myself with nobody else around me. Okay, but I am not a wood hermit. I'm a city hermit. And I still make a point of connecting to my friends and loved ones. And I enjoy meeting new people, especially living internationally. That's a part of the lifestyle. So once a week, I will leave the house. But other than that, still forget about it. Unless it's for work. I will be incorporating more yoga classes outside of the house next year. That's one thing that I will be changing, but not because I told you guys I was attracting such stank energy before. So for me, nah, I've been protecting myself, clearing, and working on work. That's the number one thing for me right now, is working on work and getting that where it needs to be so that I can have more freedom and go enjoy the beach more often, which is also in the works for next year. So growing my own food, she had mentioned that as an example of something that someone that I would do. And being an anti-capitalist, I disagree with all those things. I am about efficiency, which means going to the nicest grocery store to get my food. And I am an entrepreneur and developing my own business plans. I have nothing wrong with, have no issues with conscious capitalism. Conscious capitalism, no. Okay. No problems with it whatsoever. All right. Now, she said you have to defend yourself. And one of the other readings that I mentioned, I think Stargirl the Practical Witch talked about this too, like protection. Maybe people talk about you behind your back. Yeah, they do. Like I told you, the neighbors, rotten. So that's been a thing. You will become a very famous person. I've been told multiple times by multiple people this, like on separate occasions, separate years. People have said that I'll be a writer specifically. I've been told that. So it'll be interesting to watch it unfold. I've even had one of my intuitive people that I go to, one of my readers, just he said he would write his name in blood that I was going to be a writer, and not just a regular writer, but a very well-known one in the future. He even described the book and everything. And it's interesting because I have some concepts now that are similar to what he said. I just haven't manifested them yet. So yeah, stay tuned for that book or books. All right. So then also the lovely stranger Tarot said, mentioned being famous on YouTube. Decided to dedicate more time to this just naturally. I actually had a dream a couple of months back that it was crazy. I was in the kitchen, and you know how, like, I watch YouTube on a smart TV. I don't know if you guys do, but it's great if you have a smart TV. Oh my God, or an Apple TV. Oh, it just changes the whole experience. Oh my God. Anyways, I was in the kitchen and my YouTube channel was on. I was watching myself on YouTube and I was an established YouTuber. About a week after that, I naturally started making these videos. So it's been interesting to watch that progress. I think it's possible. I just have to manifest it, and so I am. Yeah. She talked about writing and vlogging, which can be solitary, which I told you before. I don't like working in groups. I like working by myself. She also talked about being a singer or like maybe doing some sort of music. I like doing meditation music and writing songs and things like that. Sometimes songs come to me and I'll just record like the melody of it. I've been doing that since I was a child. I've never done much with it, but who knows what the future holds. So that was really interesting. Realizations. All of the work that I'm pursuing outside of the classroom teaching is solitary. And I plan on doing this as solitarily as possible, including teaching. Like even with teaching, because of the new contract that I'm getting, I'm going to Vietnam. I don't think I said that. I'm going to be in a language center, and I plan on being one-on-one with the student or in very small groups with those students. I'm not doing those large classes with 40 students. No, and it'll just be me and my students. Like, that's how I jam, that's how I roll, and that's how it's going to be, and that's how that's going to manifest. Bet. Bet, right? So know these things about yourself. How do you work and how do you work best? It's super important. Location independent, home based. I've learned that this is more ideal for me. And I do prefer to work from home, but I am also realizing that for me, especially working and living internationally, you need to have a work permit. I recommend that if you're going to work internationally. There's this whole trend of being a digital nomad, which is great, but I do think that you set yourself up for certain risks if you don't have the right paperwork, which is something that had happened to me. So definitely take that into consideration. Make sure that you have security in the way that you need to have it. And I've been working on my root chakra and also getting that very pragmatic visa, that type of like paperwork security, bureaucratic security that I need so that I'm straight and I can continue on my journey. Okay. So yes, I'm exploring and making sure that they're aligned with this aspect. So just working on that work and making sure that those things are aligned. And online teaching has probably flowed so well for me because I do well with less traditional models and being location independent. So all the other stuff that I'm doing outside of the teaching in the classroom is all home based and kind of has a very similar vibe to it. Look at that too. How can you recreate that energy in different ways? If you're having success with something and you want to continue to amplify that success and snowball it, look at that and explore your patterns. We talk about negative patterns, but explore your positive patterns too. Like what's actually working for you. Do that too. My final thoughts. The older I get, the more important my solitude is. Oh my God, yes. And it's not complete solitude, not absolute, but when it comes to work in particular, let me do me in peace, let me work in peace. I got me, I got my clients, I got my students. End of debate, end of discussion. The more people that get involved, I can't stand it. And I told you guys I'm an Aquarius sun sign, but Virgo moon. So with some of these schools, they can be super disorganized. I can't function in those. Unfortunately, I tried working at a school in Thailand, actually this past year, but the structure just wasn't there enough. So I'm very specific about where I'm going in Vietnam. I already have the school picked out, partially because I know that the structure is where I need it for it to be, for me to align with it. That's that Virgo thing, nature in me. I know that I need that now. But life experience this past year taught me that. And just continuing to clear and align and release stuff. When you clear and align and release, you realize more of who you are and how you are. So be doing your clearings, you guys. Get rid of as much stuff as you can, because those things are blocking you, so that you can really see yourself more fully and understand yourself, and then also make the best decisions. Okay. So that's those are the 3 readings. We had Star Girl, the Practical Witch, we had Rainbow Harmony, and the Lovely Stranger Tarot. I'm gonna move ahead. Okay. So this was a quote that I wanted to share with you guys. And I'm laughing at myself because I move so quickly that I keep saying I need to go back and edit these before I do these videos. But this was supposed to go first. This was supposed to go first. You guys are going to get a scripting activity, but you're about to get it now. So the quote is from Oprah, and it's, "Don't worry about being successful, but work toward being significant, and the success will naturally follow." I am practicing this with my teaching specifically. I love my students, and all I do every day is wake up and do my best so that they can accomplish their goals. And I'm helping people get jobs and get better incomes for their families. Like, that's what I do as a teacher. And I'm so proud of that. And I will get up to do that every single day. I have my students who are helping themselves, and it is my great pleasure and my honor to help them. So when you can connect to something like that for yourself, everything else will fall into place. Just allow it to. This has been a big thing for me this year, to realize this, but also connect it and anchor it to what I'm actually doing. Don't worry about being successful. Don't worry about that, but work toward being significant, and the success will naturally follow. And the question I have is, how do you define success? Okay, so we're going to do a scripting activity. I'm actually going to give you the questions and you're going to do it. Once again, how do you define success? The questions are, what do you want? What is your intention? What does it look like? What would be possible if you already manifested this? Okay. What or who is needed to manifest this? And which means of accomplishing this intention seems the most achievable? What are the low-hanging fruit for whatever it is that you're trying to manifest right now? Okay. Write these questions out one by one and answer them. Take your time. Write as much as you need to get clarification around what it is that you're manifesting. After you do that, you can create your own affirmations based off of what you've discovered, and start doing candle prayers with those affirmations, saying those affirmations. That's what I would do. That's something that I do in my practice to manifest and draw down the intention and align with it. Okay. So this slide deck is going to be on my Facebook page, which I have listed, facebook.com/claritywithkim. It's going to come back up in a minute, and I'll share that with you guys. But anyways, in closing, what actions am I taking? Okay, because you guys, it's not just about, oh, that reading was so nice, and then you sit up and you don't do anything. No, what are you doing with the information? So for me, it's dealing with the after effects of the Saturn, that retrograde, just coming out of it. Oh my God, I'm so happy, so grateful that it was challenging for me personally. So grateful that I went through all those things, because I knew that I was getting wisdom from it, and really breaking those cycles and those patterns. They are gone, like for real, for real. But I'm also happy because now things are about to be a lot easier and more aligned. Super grateful, because I'm not repeating those patterns. Now, the second thing, manifesting a new passport. I need to get a new passport before heading back to Vietnam. And then manifesting an income increase of at least $1,000 a month in a month's time. I told you guys I'm going to be speaking with one of my older companies and getting back on for it with them, or a better company, whatever manifests, as long as I get that extra $1,000 a month coming in. The black salt regimen I already mentioned, I'm continuing to protect and just block out all foolishness. This is a good time, actually, with the planetary alignment. Saturn has done a lot in terms of bulldozing and crushing a lot of foolishness on a lot of our behalves. If you found yourself in one situation and suddenly out of it, that means that has cleared. Protect yourself so that you don't reattract it or realign with the foolishness. Okay. You can use black salt to help with that. You can also do a black candle prayer for protection. Also scripting for the aforementioned intentions, so that $1,000 a month, it can come through teaching or it can come through something else, but it just needs to come. So that's what I'm taking, or that's the action that I'm taking. And then I have here, what actions will you take to manifest your intention this month? Write down what you gonna do, boo. Comment below. Let me know if you like a pick a card reading about your intention, okay? I'm here to help. I will still be doing my own readings as well. I have some other videos that I'll be uploading that are about travel, and I'll be doing more reactions for now, but I definitely will be doing some more of my own pick a cards. So comment, share, like, subscribe, and click that bell notification. Once again, visit me on facebook.com/claritywithkim for this slide deck. I will have it linked there because I know some of you guys are going to want the questions. Thank you so much. I love you and I wish you the best. And ooh, excuse me. And I'll see you doing the next pick a card. If there's a creator that you want me to feature in an upcoming Infinite Reactions video, also let me know. Okay, loves. Bye.